Are you tired of losing track of deals and manually updating spreadsheets? Then keep watching. Hello, I am John from Ucidity. At Ucidity, we help businesses to be able to grow and scale their business through revenue operations and fantastic CRM systems. So today, I would like to take you through HubSpot and specifically the Sales Hub of HubSpot. Now, if you have watched our videos in the past, we do have our introductory video which explains some of the core features of HubSpot. Our previous video in our video series is all about the marketing features of HubSpot, and this is the third in our series which focuses on the Sales Hub. So what I'm going to briefly do is run you through some of the core features of the sales side of HubSpot. So particularly if you have things like disjointed tools, if you've got lack of visibility around either your sales team or your sales pipeline, if you're sick of doing tasks manually and getting drowning in sales admin, and there's inconsistent follow-up, especially when there's busy times and you've got that awkward feeling of prospects calling you saying, hey, I thought you were going to send me something, then keep watching. So HubSpot is the perfect solution for those in a sales role. And specifically, the feedback that we always get as a HubSpot provider is that we get sales teams jumping into HubSpot and using it before we've even finished setting up HubSpot. To us, this is a signal that HubSpot is a tool that sales team will actually want to use. They know the benefits, they've heard of the benefits, and one of the hardest things as a business owner or as a sales person in a sales role is being bogged down in the admin from a CRM. HubSpot's the opposite. HubSpot is one of those platforms where it actually makes your sales role significantly easier. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to jump into HubSpot itself. I'm going to take you on a tour of HubSpot and how it works. And firstly, I'm going to show you the main sales pipeline. So what HubSpot does is it breaks up our sales pipeline into leads and deals. So like a lot of other CRM systems, the main difference being that leads are typically brought in via some sort of marketing channel. We're measuring the effectiveness of our marketing based on how many of leads convert. Or how many are qualified. And then secondly, leads then flow into our sales pipeline or our deals, and then we can measure the effectiveness of our sales based on how many of our deals actually convert in our sales pipeline. So what I'm showing you now is an area called the Sales Workspace. This is something that HubSpot is relatively new to HubSpot. I think it's one of HubSpot's best features right now. There are more, but what this allows you to do as a salesperson is have one screen to manage all of your sales. So everything from what tasks you got due tomorrow, what tasks you got due today. If you have been away for a little while, it'll show you any overdue tasks. If you have some of your prospects or some of your leads in automated emails, it'll show you where they are and how far through that nurturing process they are in that sequence. And then down here, we've got a section which is what we call our guided actions. It's run by an AI layer in HubSpot, and it will actually suggest to you next steps based on information that it's getting from its CRM system. So things like, hey, we've got leads that are waiting for our reply. So we've had leads come in and no one's replied to them yet. So it could be that I've been away. We can switch on, say, like an agent, an automated agent to actually reply to people. We can set it up on our website. That's another conversation. So our next section is our lead section. So I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to briefly show you how this system works. So what would typically happen is that we've got some sort of marketing channel. Either that's going to be from, say, an ad, it's going to go to a form on our website. Maybe someone has given us a business card of someone that or referral from another client, and we need to get them in the system and find a way to firstly manage the whole first connection stage. So attempting to outreach with them, have a quick, say, 15-minute triage call, and then some way of actually monitoring, are they a good fit or not? So what will happen here is that we've got our leads that are coming in, and we'll move them Kanban style. We can view more of a spreadsheet style, but we've got our leads coming in here and we're progressing them through our lead funnel. So typically it's going to be, hey, they're a new lead, we need to engage with them. Then we attempt to reach out to them. So that could be via email, could be via phone. We've left a voice message, they're yet to respond, and then we're progressing them through each one of these steps. Now, the thing that a lot of our clients actually love about the step feature is that when I go into this spreadsheet view, I can see who in the system. I'm just going to push this back into new. We'll say that say they're completely new. This would be blank. It would say new lead that we need to contact. Once we've started to engage with them, we just switch that over to attempting. We can see here that the system's updated itself and said there was some sort of activity, and we've got a next schedule activity. So the scenario would be something along the lines of we've left a voice message and we want to have some sort of reminder to say, hey, let's actually tomorrow, let's call that person via a phone call. Okay, so I've updated that. Now what's happens now is I've jumped back to my summary screen. So at the end of the day and the start of the day, I'll jump to my summary screen. And this is telling me that tomorrow I have a phone call that's due in my pipeline. Now, the thing that people love about this is that if you can see on my phone here, you can actually see that I've got a task that's sitting in my phone. So I can either call directly from my phone. There's a nice little icon I can click and it'll call that person directly, or I can call from my desktop. I can connect HubSpot to my phone, so I can actually make calls from my phone using my headset. Either way, there's a nice easy way that I can actually just follow up with calls. So this is great if we've got some sort of volume in terms of leads. It's even great if leads are trickling in. We've just got a nice succinct way to manage our leads and measure our leads. The last step of this process makes it easier in terms of qualifying or disqualifying leads. So we drag them into either disqualified. We have a pop-up that says, hey, why were they disqualified? Was it that they had no decision-making power? Were they the wrong person? Were they a wrong fit? Or we can move them into our qualified stage where we generate a deal directly off that lead. So once we've got the scenario of someone is qualified, we then get prompted with the ability to create a new sales deal off the back of that lead. We enter the information that we know about, so the amount that this deal is going to be worth, when we're expecting it to close by, all the fields that we can have in here. Click on create, and then it creates a deal in our deal pipeline and essentially closes off that lead, so we don't need to worry about the lead anymore because it's converted to a deal. So I've moved over to the deals pipeline now. What we can see here is a new deal with Fred Smith. And what we are typically doing is booking in appointments, qualifying them to buy some sort of pipeline. These are completely configurable, same as the leads pipeline, where we're moving them through step by step. So once they're moving to the end of the pipeline, we can have some sort of automation at each steps of these pipeline. But once we move into the either on hold, so someone said, hey, sorry, I've got to rush overseas for a month, I'll get back to you, or you get back to me. Either a close lost, so typically we would have something that says, hey, why did we lose this one? Did we lose contact? Something like that. We can then run reports over the top to say, why do we lose deals? And then lastly, we've got the closed one, in which case we may have a pop-up as well, and then some way of then setting it up so they go into a delivery phase. So we might have an onboarding email to say, hey, welcome to our company, here's what to expect, here's how to book in a meeting for our kickoff meeting. All those sort of emails, these emails can be automated in the system. Okay, so speaking of automation, this is something that HubSpot makes easy as well. So if you have a scenario where you need to send a set of emails, so that could be way back at the lead stage, it could be at the very end of your sales sequence, we have an ability to enroll someone in a sequence. So I'm going to step back to the contact record and I'll show you some of the advantages of being able to do that. Okay, so what I've done now is I've jumped into our networking, our sequencing section. So the scenario is that we've met someone at a networking event. If you do watch one of my videos, we have the ability to scan business cards into HubSpot. It'll scan the business card, convert all their details into text, and add their details straight into HubSpot for you. And then we can select multiple people and have a follow-up sequence to invite them to a meeting. So I've done it here. We've got a simple networking follow-up. And what HubSpot does, it'll prompt me and say, all right, where did we meet? So let's say Chamber of Commerce. And then we've got when did we meet? Let's just say this morning or last night. So update the sequence. So what HubSpot does is that it then updates this template that we have. So no need to think about what to write. There's consistency in communication, in branding, messaging, the whole lot. And what this does is that it sends someone an email to say, hey, it was great to catch up. We can put some additional information here, like love that the Wallabies won the rugby last weekend, if we were talking about rugby at the event. And I would have better spelling than that. But essentially what we're doing is that we can tailor this a little bit for each of our contacts we want to send this to, and they then get to click on a link, say to our website, a PDF, something where they can view who we are as a reminder. And the other one is the time saving, where they can book a meeting with us. So if you want to have an online meeting or a face-to-face meeting, they're simply clicking this link and it opens up the system where they find the time where it suits them to actually meet with you. So I've just clicked on the link here, and what it does is it shows availability of the calendar. So we've got 11:30 a.m. and then tomorrow there's certain times I'm available, and my calendar starts to open up on a Friday afternoon. But the whole point of this is that they click the link. If you've got, say, Microsoft Teams connected or Google Meet connected or Zoom, whatever platform you use for video conferencing, it'll automatically generate the meeting for you. And if it's face-to-face, you can select the location. So no longer do you have to have those awkward emails back and forth about finding times and locations of where to meet. HubSpot will sort that out for you. And secondly, if someone has not responded, you don't have to have a list of who you send it to and when to respond. HubSpot will also, in a certain amount of days, if they haven't booked in, if they haven't responded, it will send them a follow-up to say, hey, just a reminder that we sent an email a couple of days ago. Do you want to book in? And finally, if you want to have this as a final check, you can have a manual task to remind to book call them manually and book in a meeting. So the last area I'm going to look at is our task management. A lot of people love this, but a lot of people get tied up with tasks where they end up with so many tasks they don't even use them anymore. So what we do is we break up our tasks into different segments, categories. They're called queues in HubSpot, but we can break them up into different segments. So say our task for the day, or our calendar block for the day, is to follow up on networking. We can then jump to our networking follow-ups category and then click on the appropriate task and then do that task. We can also have, say, tasks to fill out the pipeline, to move deals through the pipeline, either creating quotes, following up on proposals, those types of tasks. Tasks to close the pipeline, so things like getting an invoice paid off or a document signed. What that means is that we've got a fantastic way of segmenting, categorizing our tasks, so we don't have the overwhelm of too many tasks and we can focus our efforts for that particular part of the day. The last one is our relationship follow-ups. This is a big one for even your BD role. So being able to follow up with the right people at the right time and book in meetings to keep relationships alive, especially like referral relationships or clients, whatever that might be, to be able to segment that up. I've just jumped into the relationship time to follow up segment of HubSpot. This is in my contacts. So this will say, these are the people that I need to catch up on a regular basis. This is the last time I've caught up with them. Yes, it is a demo system, so some of them are a little bit old. What we can do here is we can select all of them at once, and we can say enroll in one of those sequences. It's going to be relationship follow-up, and it's going to be send them an email to say, hey, it's been a little bit of time since we last caught up. I'd love to catch up. You're free in the next couple of weeks. Click this link and let's book in a meeting. So you can imagine if you're in a sales role or business development role, that single feature alone is going to save a lot of time. Something I love about rolling out HubSpot is that salespeople love it. Most salespeople in a sales position we speak to, especially if they've been working off spreadsheets, typically get a 20 to 30% gain in their time availability per week. So that means that they can spend that time to then be in front of clients, to be selling more, to be hitting their targets, and look good in front of their bosses. So if this is something that you would love within your organization, if you think it's going to help your sales team, if you're in a BD role, if you're in a sales role and you think this is going to help you, book in a discovery session. We can dig deeper into whether this is appropriate for your business or for your role. We'll be able to jump in on that call and have a look at specific challenges. We'll know by the end of the call, is HubSpot the right platform for you? Are we the right business for each other? But definitely book in one of those discovery sessions. Let's have a chat. It's only 15 minutes, and I would love to see you at the other end and help your business grow. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon.